Hey, welcome. This is Giving Back with Michele and Steve, and today we have Marissa Price on our show, and she's representing Ascend Hospitality Group, which is one of my favorites because it has to do with food. So welcome, Marissa.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Yeah. So first podcast. So I'm super excited that you're here with us. And so tell us, how long have you been in the hospitality group?
Well, I've been with the Sun Hospitality Group for about 2 years. I've been in the hospitality industry for about 15.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You don't look like you've been in a business for 15 years, Marissa. So.
Yeah, it started as like a family affair when I was really young, doing catering and waitressing and being a hostess, a busser. And now I'm on the opposite side of that, doing more of solidifying, the coordinating of an event.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know this, but Steve actually used to be in the same business in hospitality.
Yeah, I was in catering for a while, and so I can appreciate what you do and the commitment that's required of that, especially now during all these times, right? How has your business been affected by COVID? And
that's a great question. When COVID first hit, everything went into a complete halt. I mean, everything was being canceled, and I really had to pivot. And what we decided to do is do a meal match program. At the start of COVID, we meal matched over 1,000 meals.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Donated outright 500 meals to begin with to local hospitals, grocery store workers. I mean, they were busy as all heck. We also did 911 dispatchers.
Oh, wow.
That took up a majority of my time this COVID-19.
Yeah. So, and we actually participated in that. So Steve's sister passed away several years ago, and she was a critical care nurse. And so when we knew that you were doing this meal match, we thought, oh my gosh, how cool would it be is to feed them lunch. And so you guys came all the way up. Famous Days came all the way up.
All the way up from Tacoma to Bremerton at Harrison Hospital, or I guess what they call Franciscan now. It'll always be Harrison in my mind. And you guys, it was fabulous. Really, the nurses were very appreciative. And it was a good thing. And that's kind of what brought you, on our radar about like someone who really gives back, was that?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I personally drove it over there.
I know, right?
And it was a very heartfelt, moment for sure. Very emotional time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we do appreciate it. And it's continuing on right now, right?
Yes.
So, okay, good. Mm-hmm. What was your biggest group so far that you've done?
I think we did about 200 meals to Bellevue Police Department when they were getting ready just to protect the cities and protect the area when there was all those civil unrests.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's not like they can take a break and just go have something.
Yeah.
That's when things start happening.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's cool.
And it's continuing on. So what's how... And obviously, because it's not really you're not doing it. The company's not doing it as a money-making operation, right?
It's 100% to connect with our community and really give back. Mm-hmm. Going into forward for COVID-19, we are focusing right now on doing a Thanksgiving meal match program. And last year we donated about 500 turkeys. And how it works is when somebody buys a turkey meal. Mm-hmm. A full turkey, we donate one to Northwest Harvest. So we're hoping to double that this year because we've expanded our program to our other company known as Stanford's.
Oh, okay. So what does, let's go back a little bit. So what does the hospitality group, what restaurants represent that one?
Yeah, so Ascend Hospitality encompasses Ascend Prime Steak and Sushi.
Okay.
Located in Bellevue. Mm-hmm. Lincoln South Food Hall, which is located in Bellevue as well. There's only 2 restaurants open at that food hall right now, Burger Brawler and Barrio Luchador. And then we also own Famous Dave's.
Famous Dave's, yes.
Yes, and Stanford's.
Okay.
All right.
Now, when you do is the food primarily Famous Dave stuff when you do those donations, or
Yes.
yeah, okay, yeah, because they were really good sandwiches from what I gathered from the response from the nurses.
Yeah,
Stuff.
pulled pork sandwiches with
Yeah.
some barbecue sauce and a toasted brioche bun. It doesn't get any better than
Right.
Yeah, I know, right?
All American right there. So, what is in your turkey dinner? Because there's thinking about Thanksgiving this year. I was actually walking. I walk normally every morning, and I was listening to this group of girls, and they were going to do Zoom Thanksgiving with their families because they couldn't, they didn't want to travel, and I don't know who you know, or I don't know who you've been hanging with. I don't want, so it's like, so people are really getting creative. So what does that look like for a family to buy a dinner? What does that look like? It's like a regular traditional.
So our Famous Dave's menu is more of like a spunky turkey dinner. You get your roasted turkey. You'll have cornbread dressing. It'll come with mashed potatoes. Just very kind of a spin on your regular turkey dinner.
Okay. So do I have barbecue on my
Turkey?
turkey?
We could throw in some barbecue sauce.
Just wondering.
Yeah, and then we're doing for Stanford's a more traditional where it'll come with pumpkin pie, have traditional stuffing. So, yeah.
And the
really great
restaurants
options.
will be open, or is this all takeout or curbside?
So pre-ordering we launched. We kicked it off 1st of November, and you can pre-order up until Monday, November 23rd.
Okay.
And then pickup for your meals is on Wednesday, November 25th. So just the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
And it'll come with like reheating instructions, and you'll be all set. And it's perfect for people who are kind of doing a quick get together, maybe even sharing dinner over a Zoom call for sure.
Yeah, because I know our Thanksgiving this year is, I don't know, it'll be a little different than normal.
Yeah, probably conducted over Zoom, maybe. right? That's going to be everything's kind of all traditional ways are kind of either set aside for the moment and being adapted. What's going to be Thanksgiving for Marissa?
Probably going up to spend time with family.
Okay.
Are
So
you bringing your dinner from Seafort or
Or-
Stanford?
No, I should though. They're probably gonna be like, "What the heck? You didn't come with anything."
Yeah.
I'll probably end up doing some individual meals of these, which is always an option. It's not something we're typically highlighting, but definitely reach out to me, give me a call. We can coordinate doing like an individual box lunch, like of the holiday meal.
Oh, wow.
If you're not needing, enough for 5 people.
Right. Because there's a lot of people who just need it for themselves, or they're,
Absolutely.
or that's them and their spouse, and they don't want to cook a big Thanksgiving dinner. This is just a great way to have the traditional Thanksgiving dinner without all the cooking and cleaning afterwards.
All the dishes.
Yes. That's what, so Steve and I, we cook for 2 days. Traditionally, we have usually about anywhere from 8 to 15 people at our house, the revolving door. And so we always have like a ton of food. But this year we're scaling back. We don't need that much. And kids are all gone. So I don't expect their friends to be there as much. But, I think we're still looking at probably about 6 to 8 people.
Yeah, so we'll be cooking a turkey dinner though, but the idea of ordering.
Yeah, if that doesn't
Famous
work out,
Dave's.
give me a call.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
thinking
yeah.
Famous
And
Dave's
it's a
looks
great
really
cause. A family will get a turkey. So
good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And so, they'll go to Northwest Harvest. So just to reiterate, so the turkey will go to Northwest Harvest, and then what do they do after that? Do they have people that they, how do they disperse that?
I'm not familiar. That's a really great question. I'm not familiar with how they choose where they go. But I definitely will ask more questions this year.
Yeah.
Maybe get some pictures of people receiving, because it's a great moment. I mean, I love the hospitality industry. It's something that I've been doing for a long time. I enjoy genuinely connecting with people, and not in like a facade, superficial kind of way, but really getting to know someone during sometimes a short amount of time.
Yeah. That's the one thing about a good server or someone in that business, that idea of connecting really quickly and establishing a sort of rapport with them, as opposed to just someone who I totally see where you're coming from, because that's the people that we remember, and that's how I approach the business as well, right? So the idea of, and how old were you? When was your first job, or where was your first job?
Yeah, so I started when I was, I say 15 years, it's been give or take a few, because I started working when I was probably 13 years old.
Really?
For my aunt and my mom, who would do catering, and I would be on staff, and just got really familiar with how the catering deal works.
Yeah. So what did your aunt cater? Weddings, events?
All of it, yeah. Mostly weddings.
And she had her own restaurant?
I think she did it out of the Elks Lodge mostly.
Oh yeah, that's it. Gotta have a licensed kitchen.
Yeah. So, I've seen all sides of the hospitality industry, and yeah.
So you grew up. So you're a second generation then, in this business.
Yeah.
Now your mom was part of it too, as well.
Yeah.
Or? Oh wow. So they're obviously your mom are sisters, right?
Yes.
Correct. So they had a business together, or was your aunt's business?
It was like, I think my aunt had her own business and my mom had one too, and they just kind of shared the guests, and making sure that they were taking care of the guests and whatever they wanted. And sometimes, people connect better with certain people. So I think that's where they really knocked it out of the park, is that, my mom was great at certain things, my aunt was great at other things, and the two of them together just...
Oh, wow.
And so what kind of food did they serve? What was their specialty?
Probably a prime rib roast.
Oh,
yeah.
yum. See? I'm already hungry. Is it lunchtime yet?
Yeah, that's always good. What did a 13-year-old Marissa do for when you were catering? Just clean up, or?
Yeah, pull plates, replenish food lines, be dying of hunger the whole time, wanting to eat some of that food. Literally just wondering when I could eat.
Yep. Yeah. When is my turn?
Paying attention to all the details, which I think is why I do so well now, is just really keen in on details with people, and that could be like maybe listening to what they're saying and really hearing them, or sharing part of my story so they know that, they're not alone.
Yeah.
And also just being thoughtful, like catching up with someone and remembering, hey, I should follow up with that last time we chatted, So I think that being so young and being kind of thrown into that, it really paid off for me, because I really do pay attention to the details.
Usually people not usually, but someone young in getting into their parents' business kind of get burnt out usually, and that's enough, no more. But you're able to.
It's personal expense right over here.
But
he's like, I wouldn't know, but
but you use that as a springboard towards your career.
Yeah, it wasn't always butterflies and unicorns.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Definitely focusing on the positive, but there was definitely a time that I was like, yes, I'm done. I can't work for my my mom. It's just not. We clash, and but I've always found myself gravitating towards people and hospitality, and I just enjoy.
Okay.
So
before you were with Ascend, where did you work? Before?
I literally was serving right before I took on this job. I was serving at a place in Queen Anne called Five Spot.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It was very fast paced and great food, and they would had really cool decorations, just really great atmosphere.
Okay.
And I just got lucky getting this job. I saw it on LinkedIn, applied for it, didn't really think twice about it, and interviewed for it, was offered it. And it's honestly been life-changing. This company is so great to work for. They really care about people. Our core values is you matter.
Yeah.
And that's
Nice.
the biggest takeaway. And it's not just I matter as an employee, but I matter to help other people around me too.
Yeah.
Serve the guest and serve the person who's serving the guest as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's
That's
great.
great.
Well, it's self-evident in that what you guys are doing, giving out food and reaching out, especially during COVID, right? A lot of restaurants shut down. A lot of restaurants just went out for a while, but you guys went out and did that and kept your name out there and helped people that need it. Because the nurses, we were at Harrison. Those nurses were working nonstop, and they were exposing themselves to. There's a few.
And then actually, a few of them caught COVID
Yeah.
because of that. So
So it's really great that Ascend does that. And so, is there going to be? I know there's a Famous Dave's in Tacoma. Are there any more other openings, or how is it now with this? Like, there are no more plan. There are not any plans for expansion, right? Or
There actually is.
really?
Yeah, we're
okay.
in the market. We're looking for real estate. I think we'll probably end up putting a store up north, more like Burlington area.
Okay. Oh,
Nice.
good.
nice.
But we did. Our Stanford's. There's only one in Washington. It's located in Northgate, and we did open part of our kitchen to serve Famous Dave's. So you can actually order Famous Dave's and pick it up at Stanford's curbside.
Really?
So I mean, you can't have the whole dining experience, but it's great that now we're expanding into different territories. So that-
Sure.
just to be accessible to people. Because we also got a food truck. I don't know if
Right.
you guys knew that.
I didn't, but I
Really?
know that you just
Oh.
started it.
Yeah.
So
I
you'll
remember
be
the
out here.
van, but you actually a food truck
Yeah.
that you serve. Wow, yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, we had our first debut in Bellevue last week, and it went so great.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more because we had breakfast, and then you said, "Oh, I gotta go do the food truck," and I was like, "What?" So tell us where's the food truck going to be located at? Is it just driving around? So tell us a little bit about that
Yeah,
and what they're thinking.
Trying to figure out like the best way to be consistent because people want to, they want to know where we're at so they can plan to be there.
Yep.
But right now we're just booking it like on an individual case by case basis. I'm just really trying to get our face out there and see like what sticks. So our next upcoming food truck debut will be in Woodinville in wine country.
Wow.
Yum.
I know,
On
right?
all accounts.
Brisket and wine, like yes, please.
Right?
There you go.
And we'll definitely be telling everyone about our turkey meals. I am so passionate about it. I'm just so excited.
Yeah, you are really good because you love giving back. And that was, that's what we saw when we did the match for COVID relief, and you went out to all those places, and it wasn't like, okay, here, send this. It was like you came in person. So I don't know if you went to every place in person, but I know that you went to as much in person as you could just to connect with the people who did the ordering or did the dropping off.
Yeah, I mean, we were so short on staff too, to be honest, for a while. I mean, it was just like a handful of people. And so, yeah, I was driving meals to drop them off as much as I could do to help. But I really did want to show up for you guys and be
Yeah.
there for you because it was I talked with Steve for like a week.
Yeah,
So I talked to him
over the-
every day, I think, for a week trying to get this planned out. And it was great.
And it worked out, and it was a resounding success.
Yep.
So
Yep. Exactly. Well, food is normally a success, anyways. So
oh,
Yeah, right. I mean, my first part of my job is providing fantastic, delicious, quality food, and that part's already done for me. So I have a win already
Yeah.
on one side, and then the next part is connecting with people, which I am so passionate about.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what's the next step, Marissa? That obviously your company itself is going to open up another restaurant, and how do you guys see yourselves coming out of COVID? And are you going to continue this the give back program or the meals?
Yeah, I think the meal match program
match,
will
sorry.
always be in effect.
Okay.
Absolutely. Coming out of COVID, I think we're just trying to learn what's going to happen. We're
Yeah.
just taking it in strides because there's just so much unknown.
Sure.
My focus is just really trying to see what people need. Like, how can I be of service to you?
So the other thing is so you said the meal match was always going to be, so is it like the meal match that we did, like we buy meals for X and then you provide a match to that, or is it like we'll just have a different spin? So like I buy a turkey dinner and then a turkey gets donated, or both. Does that make sense?
It'll be both. So we'll have the meal match program, and then we'll still be donating the turkeys. Did I understand you?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I just want to make sure. So that way that people can help out both ways, right? So we're still providing meals for, hospitals, those that are still affected in COVID, still that are working around the clock and stuff like that. And then there's the turkey.
Yeah.
And so the cost to do the meal match program, just so our guests can know that the average, I think it was, the minimum was what, $10 per person?
Yeah. So the average meal is $10 to $13. Typically we just say 10 so that we can feed more, and then we'll provide drinks on us. But what was the question?
Good question. So you buy like say $10.
Oh yes.
At 10, what's the minimum now that you have to have for the meal match program?
Oh, to like actually go out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's anything is accepted. We're so grateful for any participation, but the average meal is $10. So if you donate, $20, that's 2 meals, but we'll match that, so it's actually 4.
Yeah.
And then we're always taking suggestions. Like if there's a place weighing on your heart, like how we talked, you're like, hey, I'd really love for these meals to go here. Absolutely. Reach out to me and let me know, and I'll help coordinate that. Absolutely. That's more meaningful to me, is knowing that, like, okay, someone I know loves someone who works here, and we're making sure that we're.
Okay. So that's a great point. So you either can buy a certain amount like we did, and it was directed towards the hospital, or you just donate money and say, hey, here's $20, and then it gets applied somewhere, right down to where you're going to go. Okay, good. So it's both ways, because I know, in fact, because we had some member from our church donated some money towards your cause as well. So that was
because I think people, they want to help, they just don't know how. And I think on our show it highlights people who they can give back to and how they can still be involved, even though they may not be able to, do a whole lot, but they can do something, and that's the whole thing, is that you don't have to do a whole lot. You just have to do something, right? So.
And something a little personal, you, outside of that, you also, kind of like Michele, you're into hiking, right? Is that you
Yeah,
like?
I am.
Yeah, like you go, where have you been?
This summer, I spent a lot of time in like the Snohomish County area. I did Wallace Falls. I've done Heather Lake. I've done so many. I get dumbfounded almost to be like, where have I gone? Because I've gone on so many this summer, and it's just been fun because I'll wake up and I'll just be like, okay, I need a break from everything. So I'll make myself a lunch, pick a hike and head out there. And it's just been so definitely keeping me level and calm during these times, because it's been confusing. It's been challenging.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good to get out. I know that's keeping Michele sane, right?
Yeah. I actually started hiking. I've been hiked in 25 years, so I'll just show my age right now. But I haven't hiked in 25 years, and we talked about it. We went up to this Mount Walker up in the Olympics, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know what was worse, stopping every other switchback and catching my breath and going, holy cow, I still am only halfway, or just busting through and just keep going. Like, don't stop, just keep on going. And then I got humbled when I had posted on my church site that a friend of ours she's like, oh, I love that hike. I went hiking, a couple years back, right? And I'm thinking to myself, She's in her 70s. A couple years back was like humbling. I was like, okay, I really need to get my butt out there and do some more exercise and commune with nature. But for me, it's just getting back to what's beautiful and what we're grateful for, and each and every day. So my walks in the morning along the beach or water in general is very humbling about how beautiful, things are. And know
We live in
that-
God's country.
Yep.
So that's my take on this. We do
Got
live
that
in a
from my
beautiful
mom.
area.
It definitely connects you, right? Like you are so in the moment when you're out in nature. It just like, so comforting.
Yep. So my next one, I guess, is Mount Eleanor. Have you been there?
I haven't.
You can go. You can just push from behind and
How many
No.
miles is it, do you know?
I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's straight up. My friend said anything that I'm like, God, it was just so hard. And so she alighted anything that has mount in front of it, Michelle, is going to be hard. So I can only imagine it's going to be hard. But I'm ready. I'm ready to try
got
it, tackle
this.
it. Yep, I'm ready to tackle it, And that's kind of, I think a lot of people are like, I'm ready to tackle it. I'm just going to do it, right? And it's just like a challenge. It's like a push to do something when you're thinking that there isn't anything you can do.
So how long have you been a hiker?
I think I'm new to it. I would say probably this year I just actually started to like really focus on doing it for like a destination for hours,
Yeah.
making sure I pack lunch. I mean, before I would like go to parks and explore, but
Yeah,
That's me. I'd rather do like level, maybe a little bit of hill. Like I want to go to where there's water, or I want to go someplace. I don't want to just, go like we have like around us. There's just like trails and trails and trails, but there's nothing there. It was like probably an old logging trail that takes you well in the woods, and then it comes back around. So I really want to make sure that I want a view, I want a water, I want a lake to jump into because I'm sweaty. But
Well, anyway, it was Mercy. You made it. It looks like we kind of got towards the end. So before we end this, tell us how I know it's scrolling underneath the thing, but just tell us how people can get in touch with you.
yeah, feel free to reach out to me. You can call me, you can email me, pre-order before November 23rd, pick up November 25th. If you need something that maybe we don't highlight, definitely reach out to me. I'm all about making it happen. So
Okay,
thank you
great.
so much for giving me this opportunity. It's been so fun. First timer,
Yeah,
super intimidating, but it's so fun. It's such a great experience, and I'm excited to hear about
yeah.
some financial tips today too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We'll be
we'll-
doing our tips next.
We'll be doing that, but I'm glad to have you on and have a happy Thanksgiving and success to the Ascend Hospitality and Famous Dave's for providing this much needed service. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, we're here talking about positive money conversations because a lot of times we found that when the talk turns to money, it tends not to be positive, correct?
No, you're right. It just times like all of a sudden people start to clam up and they don't want to talk about it, and so here's some ways that you can help to have that conversation with your friends and families.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's all about creating an ease and a familiarity and a lack of judgment. I think people have a tendency to feel that they're going to be judged by they're talking about finances, and so we first tip is to be open and honest, and you have to be a little bit vulnerable when it comes to money and come to a place where you are and not be.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that they're going to be judged by their either lack of money or how they haven't handled their money very well, or they might have just a negative history about money, like, oh man, I just don't know anything about it. So be honest, be honest with your husband, your friends, your family, and then you know what, you get your power back when you start talking about your goals and your dreams, about what it is that you want to accomplish with the money that you have, all of a sudden you get this victory, I guess, over how to
Well, you
take
start
that control.
exactly. You start seeing things on a forward basis. You're not stuck in revisiting past mistakes or past whatever when it comes to money. Hey, what can we do? Not what have I done, but what can we do about money? And that goes to our second thing about being using positive language.
Oh yeah, that's huge, huge. Positive language is always
And
better.
because we all can say we grew up with, maybe not all, I won't say that, but a lot of people grew up with a negative mindset or negative image of money. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Yep.
I'm not made of money. We can't afford it. You hear that constantly. So when people,
Well, just think of it this way. What do you think, Steve, when you talk about a budget?
I think I'm unlimited.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on a scarcity mindset type of thing. You only got a certain amount,
Right.
so you want to hold on to it.
How about this other one? How about, hey, we got to watch what we're spending. Have you ever done that?
Yep, exactly.
So what does that feel like?
It feels limiting, and that's
Well, it feels like you're being punished, right?
feel
Like,
right.
oh, I can't
being
really,
punished.
so I can't really, spend what I want because I'm limited, right? Or I got to watch what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, so you have to say, hey, things. If you can't afford something or you're unlimited, say, I'm on a limited budget. That doesn't fit with my strategic plan or our plan towards money. Plan sounds so much better than a budget, and essentially that's what a budget is. It's a plan.
Right.
It's
right.
a plan in place, how much you're going to spend. So why not call it something like that? Call it like a plan, and then use and well, we found that the word can't is probably one of the most negative words ever. I can't do something.
Exactly.
Replace can't with choose. I choose not to do something. I choose not to spend at this place. The money is not being well spent there. So
Right.
you choose, right? The
Right,
choice
right.
is back in your corner.
And number 3, think about leading with your goals, right? That kind of goes with your choosing. Like, hey, like someone would say something like, hey, I'm broke. Well, don't say I'm broke. Just say, hey, I choose to, I don't know, whatever you choose to do. I choose to do, something different with my money because I want to buy a house.
Exactly.
Or I don't really want to go out to dinner 5 days a week because I'm saving for that car. So lead with your goals. Whatever your goals are in mind, lead with that.
And that usually provides you enough incentive to follow through. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a goal set aside, you know what? Hey, go to Buffalo Wild Wings. That's great. That's our go-to method.
Right.
Go to
right.
Buffalo Wild Wings. But yeah, and if you see have a goal in place, have it written down, do a vision board, whatever, but have something. And Michelle is actually very good about going on trips and saving money for trips. I mean, we've been to a bunch of places that I thought, oh my God, we can't afford it, but there we went.
Right.
So because of the goal.
You have a goal, and really it could be any goal. It could be a weight goal. It could be whatever. But you want to make sure that you lead with that because that solidifies it in your mind why you're doing what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Exactly. And then at the end is ask for and offer support. Ask for something if you don't know how to do something. Ask for accountability is a big thing. Like, hey, I want to help me on this to go to save towards this, to save for this car, to put money on this house.
Right. So think about it this way. If you bought a blue car tomorrow, Steve, and you think, oh man, this car, I've never seen it. This is such a great color blue. Guess what you see the next day, Steve?
Yep, all sorts of blue cars.
All sorts of blue cars because you haven't really, put it out there. You didn't speak it. So if I'm speaking, hey, we're going to Greece next year, or hey, we're going on this river cruise in 2 years, guess what, Steve? We're going on a cruise in 2 years. But, that's because I spoke it, and we're going to make our goals to get to there. So it's never going to be.
And then ask for your spouse or your partner to enlist you in that goal and pursuit. And, because it gives you accountability and it gives you focus and a teammate. A teammate on this journey towards financial independence. So that's kind of our
Well, think of it this way.
keeping it positive.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, that's our tips for today. Thank you so much.